I'd like to start by saying that Sheimay's Sonic Spitball video was a huge inspiration for this, so if you haven't seen that, I recommend you go do that here. Now that that's out of the way, I think that Sonic Generations is the closest thing that we've ever gotten to a perfect Sonic game. That includes the 2D games. I'm a huge fan of the first three Sonic games, and I think that 2, 3, and Knuckles are some of the best games of all time. But personally, I just think that 3D games are inherently more fun if designed well. I think you could take all the same aspects of a game like Katamari Damacy or Catherine, for example, and even if the game is an exact replica down to the T, I think that it just won't be quite as enjoyable just because of the nature of the medium. 3D games just allow for so much more of everything. Camera angles, more intuitive and interesting input from the player, just everything. Maybe if someone figured out how to get these 2D figures roaming in a 2D environment so that it would look and feel 3D, sort of like how Time and Eternity tried, maybe then you could have a well-designed 2D game as fun as a well-designed 3D one, but as far as I know, no one else has even attempted anything like that. So what did Generations do right? Well, let's look at my favorite two Sonic games up to this point, Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Unleashed. Both of these suffered from one major flaw, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. In Adventure 2, only about 1/3 of the game is fun to play, the Sonic and Shadow levels. Well, that and the Chow Gardens, but that's for another day. In Unleashed, it's half the game that's fun. You have one guess as to which half. The treasure hunting and mech levels in Adventure 2 were sort of fun too, but most people play Sonic for the speed. In Shay's video, he talks about how he thinks Sonic Adventure 1 is the best 3D Sonic game to date because of the similarities in gameplay mechanics to the 2D games and how it accommodates for the 3D environment. And while I agree with him that the way Sonic controls at its core may be better designed in Adventure 1, I think that the things that Adventure 2 fixes more than make up for it. First off, some of the levels in Adventure 1 are buggy as hell. A lot of them are more open and allow for a little more exploration, but if you try to do that, you risk flinging yourself off the stage, which isn't fun at all. The rest of the stages all suffer at one point or another from some type of gimmick, or, in Lost World's case, a whole bunch of gimmicks. That's not to say that Adventure 2 is without its gimmicks, but there seem to be far fewer of them. I'll admit that Pyramid Cave and Crazy Gadget are perhaps the worst offenders of this, but I somehow find moving around a key and switching around gravity a little more tolerable than positioning around mirrors, riding a weird snake thing, and climbing a bunch of ladders. Maybe I'm a little biased because I absolutely love the story in SA2 and I think that the one in SA1 is just okay, and the story really helps tie these levels together, but I'm trying to look at this as objectively as possible. Yuji Naka, the creator of Sonic, once said the Green Hill Zone was meticulously recrafted over and over to make sure it was fun to play, and that really shows. Say what you will about Sonic games, everyone who plays Zone 1 Act 1 of Green Hill Zone will enjoy it. It's everything after that that's controversial. City Escape is similar to that. I played that one stage hundreds of times and I still absolutely love every minute of it. Except for the end bit. That was really only fun the first 50 times or so. But the fun doesn't stop there. Every level up till the very end is fun for me to play. A lot of the levels in Adventure 1 had areas that were sort of slow and not particularly fun to play, most notably the icicle climbing, collecting 400 rings in the casino stage, and trying not to fall off during the egg carrier stage. Oh, and the flight stages. People give the Big the Cat fishing stages a lot of flack, but I think these flight segments are even less fun. They're just so slow and boring and easy. In Adventure 2, the only segments that I found boring to play through on subsequent play sessions are the gun truck, the end of Metal Harbor. There are a lot of ends of stages that are sort of added in for the sake of graphical flair and excitement during initial playthroughs, but I can't totally disregard these segments. Even after so many sessions, they're still somewhat fun to look at. Moving on to Unleashed, these day levels play quite a bit differently from the Adventure ones. They feel much faster, they replace the staple spin dash with the boost, and there are more abilities such as sidestepping and drifting, which had to be implemented to accommodate for the speed boost. One thing that I don't think they quite did to accommodate is increase the expansiveness of the levels. Don't get me wrong, these maps are enormous, especially Adabat and Eggman Land, which can take an incredible 30 minutes to complete on your first playthrough, but they're very linear. Almost every path in the day stages is a straight line designed for you to run through at extreme speeds, taking in the gorgeous environments. The catch is, every few seconds you get to make a choice. You either come to a wall that you can jump over, a spike or a pit that you can avoid, or a spring or a grind rail that you can take, or a branching path where you can choose to go up, right, left, or down. This inevitably leads to a lot of trial and error, but I think that's okay in a game like this, especially when the only repercussion is having a brief pause in your momentum. It makes these levels the most enjoyable to speedrun out of any game for me, since every little decision that you make affects your overall time on the stage. The same thing may be able to be said about many games like this, but in other games it's usually a chore to run all the way back to that part where you screwed up. In these day levels, it's an absolute pleasure thanks to the beautiful environments and fluidity of motion that comes with it. In the adventure games, tons of things would impede on that sense of speed. Not only the obstacles, but also the way the homing attack worked, stopping all momentum after an attack. I love the way the homing attack works in Unleashed. It keeps you going after you use it. In fact, there's a DLC level that consists of almost nothing but homing attacks, and I think it's a fun stage. But anyway, in Unleashed you usually have no one to blame but yourself. That being said, you don't have to blame yourself too much because you can just press the boost button to reach top speed again. I've told you why I think Unleashed is a great game, so then why is it that I began this by saying that Generations is the near-perfect Sonic game? Well, not only is 99% of the game fun to play, as opposed to half of it, but it also refined the jumping mechanics and widened up the pathways, which is what I think the modern Sonic engine needs. That's not to say that Generations is without its problems. The levels in it are much shorter, so when I get to the end of them I feel kind of unsatisfied, at least some of the earlier levels. And the PS3 version of the game has a short input delay on the jump button that just ruins the entire game for me. But the PC version of the game has no input lag, and it has amazing mod support, which leads me to my next thought. Imagine, if you will, an open-world Sonic game. Whenever I think about this idea, I go back to another favorite game of mine, Just Cause 2. The thing that makes this game so fun to play is the vast amount of controls, areas to explore, and things to interact with. It may seem like an odd comparison, but for me, this experience is pretty similar to this one. The difference is, here you can go anywhere. See that grass field over there? You can go there, and it's exhilarating. See that grass field over there? You can't go there. Imagine if you could. That is my perfect Sonic game. So then why, after that amazing game, did we have to make this dramatic change to Lost World and... well, I'm not even gonna go there. Thankfully, modders have begun to create some amazing levels in Generations for PC, and in fact every single day level from Unleashed has been ported into the game, so I'm very excited to see what else they can come up with. If anyone wants to create a huge open world for me to explore with this engine, I would support you 100%. Like seriously, I would pay you money in a Kickstarter. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on about Sonic for a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like it, share me with your friends, help get the word out, I'd appreciate that. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Also, is there a game you want to see me cover on the show? Let me know. I'm totally willing to do it. Thanks for watching.